Are we live? Is it going to give us a countdown?
No, you're live. That's just what
Are
we
we
do.
live? Are we really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
No, wait. No, wait, Jen. Let's start over. We're going to start over. Here we go. Ready?
You're
And
just messing with
go.
me. Oh my
We
gosh,
really are
stop
live. We're messing with Jen.
I know.
Stop
She's like,
messing
what is
with
going on?
me. Stop messing with me. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. My name is Jen Barkan. I am an online sales coach at Do You Convert? And welcome to Online People Talking, or OPT, as we like to call it. This series is dedicated to you, the new home online sales specialist. And we will talk about real life challenges and solutions and stories just for you. And we decided that we were going to take our DYC Facebook Lives and combine them with our ops to have just one collective group of awesomeness. We are going to be having interviews and lives more frequently just for you, but it'll be under the Opt umbrella. And today we have some amazing online people who are going to be talking with you. The one and onlys, Lyon and Jessie Suggs.
Thank you, everybody. Good to see you.
Yeah. Why did we decide to combine this awesomeness together, Mike?
Well, I think we were always talking about online things anyway. So we don't want to have there's Netflix and there's Hulu and there's Disney Plus and there's HBO Max and there's Apple TV. Let's just kind of keep it all together under one thing. Yeah, I love it. We're always talking about online specialties here. So on the DYC Live platform, we'll just turn it into Opt-in Live. So exciting to do that. Hi, Lindsay. There you are. And if you're here, say hi. Smash the thumbs up button. There's Beth Ann. Hello. Good to see you.
Say hello. We love that you are here with us live. We want to give you shout outs and interact with you. Before we get into our topic today, which we're going to be talking about benchmarks and forecasting. Ooh.
Yummy.
But before we get before we get into the meat and potatoes, as I like to call it, we have some very special announcements to the online community. We just want to make sure that you are aware of. Did you guys see or know that on February 9th, it was National OSC Day?
Officially official.
Hey, if you guys celebrated, put in the comments what you did, talk about it for a minute. We saw some amazing posts that were happening all around the new home industry. But listen, this day is dedicated to you, the online sales specialist. It's a long time in the making, right? And so this will happen every year. This was not just a one-time thing.
we got to clarify that. A lot of people ask that. It's a national holiday.
It's a national holiday. It is legit. So mark your calendars, right? And it was really cool because Jessie, Mike, and myself got to celebrate when we were at the Builder Show. We actually even gave out stickers, awareness. Okay, we were passing out awareness stickers to everybody like, hey, did you know that this is happening today? Reach out and hug your online sales specialist and let them know that you care. But it was really cool because it fell the day after the Nationals Awards, which, come on, we've got some very special people we want to give shout outs to for online sales. So we had some amazing silver and gold award winners, but our gold winner for Rookie of the Year, Olga Walker of Creative Homes. Come on now. We had OSC of the Year, Kendall Pashik of Hartford Homes. And she won silver last year. So she was a gold winner this year. And then Online Sales Team of the Year, Red Door of the Carolinas, 2-time gold winner. Come on now. It was really, really special to be able to be there and celebrate with them that night. What did you guys think, Jessie and Mike? Wasn't it awesome?
It was so good. I don't know. I've said this before, but we got front row seats. And so being up there and seeing these amazing people right on stage, you could see their nerves and their excitement all happening at the same time. It was just awesome to watch.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was, I would definitely say one of the highlights for me, just kind of reflecting back
yeah.
on the show, just to see so many silver and gold, but to see them all be up there. It was just, I mean, it was just amazing. It's been a hard year for sales in general, specifically online
Right.
sales. So to see them recognized, that made me just,
Yeah.
my heart just grew that day. It was
Yeah.
great.
So we will be doing a special online people talking next month, and I will be interviewing these very special people.
Yeah,
So
that's
make sure
fun.
you tune in. Yeah, make sure you tune in and see how they won. How did you win? Okay, let's get into this benchmarks. Mike, let's talk benchmarks.
Let's do it.
What do our benchmarks mean when we
Yes.
say we've collected benchmarks?
Yeah, so first of all, if you guys have been following along, give us a little thumbs up if you have. We want to make sure that we know who we're talking about. It's good to see so many of you on here. But our benchmarks are pulled from a data set that we have tied into builders, and it's not 100% of the builders that we're connected to, but it's a good majority of them. And what we wanted to do was take all of 2021 and say, here's what we saw, because it kind of went like this at the beginning and it kind of went down and it was going back and forth. So I think it's important to look at the big picture and just compare what that was to 2020. So we're going to talk about those benchmarks and what it means for our online sales specialists and our marketing leaders as they go into this next year. So we'll talk through that. The first piece and the fun piece is the actual data points. So it was a big year. There are 27 states represented, 402,286 total leads from 127 separate online sales specialists. So point number one is we got a lot of data. For us, we're real big on what we call kind of the data integrity piece of the puzzle. What's great about these benchmarks is they all really manage their leads in a very similar fashion. Call a lead, call an appointment, a sale from an appointment. It's all the same way. So that's a big one, just to make sure that everybody's clear on. And we can talk through some of the totals. But so data integrity is a big one. We got a lot of data set that we're pulling from. The totals, what we saw on average for the year, at the end of the year, we were looking at over 33,000 leads per month. Almost 7,000 kept appointments per month. That's kept. And sales from appointment kept per month was 1,336. So that was our averages that we saw. A lot of good numbers coming in. Yeah. So what's important to note here too is that even if you kind of look and do some real hard division between those numbers, it's not going to line up with exactly with what our conversion rates are. We take the average conversion rate for a builder. So for example, there may be a builder that has a larger number of leads with a lower average of lead to appointment. That will all shake out a little bit differently. So that'll offset what we call that cohort of data, but we're looking at average data sets for everybody coming in. So that's kind of a nerdy way to put it. Of the way we do this math is looking at averages for each individual builders. There are some builders that have a much higher conversion rate of lead to appointment. Okay.
Right.
So here's drum roll. Here's the funnel that's so important that everybody cares about. For 2021, here's what we saw. Leads to kept appointment. It was 34%, down from 35% in 2020. So just a little bit off there. Appointment to sale was 19%, down from 21% in 2020. And we have some reasons behind that we've thought about here and put our heads around. And online sales percentage of total sales grew to 54%, up from 49% in 2020. So that's a huge bump and a huge growth. So for those of you who are seeing this data on the screen right now, give us a little bit of feedback. How does this line up with what you're seeing? Anything off, anything different? If you want to share some of your numbers, feel free to do that. But these were the numbers this year. So on that top of the funnel, we're noticing a little bit of friction. On the bottom of the funnel and the overall contribution, that is growing. So we're going to talk about some of those things. Jen, as you see these numbers, what's one of the first things that kind of sticks out in your brain from 2021?
Yeah, not surprised at all in the little bit of the dip in appointment to sale, because as you all can relate that are watching, right? Lack of inventory availability. It was harder to move people to sometimes appointment because they were going to a wait list, and it was harder to move them to sale just for sheer lack of homes, right? So
Yeah.
totally anticipated that that number would go down a little bit.
Yeah.
For
And I want
sure.
to pose that question to the audience right now. If you could set more appointments right now, could you set more appointments for interested buyers than you have been already? I want to hear like, hey, I could set more appointments for sure if I had the
Yes.
opportunity. I just want to hear where you guys are all at on that. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
important feedback. So let us know. Or if you're at capacity and you don't have any more appointments set, let us know that too. So I really do think we're hearing, if I could set more appointments, I would do it. And we're really seeing
Absolutely.
that kind of held back a little bit artificially for
Mm-hmm.
sure. That's a big thing. The other things, yeah, Nicole, that's a good point. Home sites are sold out. What's the point in sending, your prospects out if there's nothing for them to do? Yeah,
Yeah.
Kristen says yes, of course. Steve says yes, and Beth Ann says, "Oh, hey,
Mm-hmm.
Lacey," right? um, so we got that issue. The other thing too that we saw, overall lead and appointment volume really tapered down towards the end of the year. The insane highs of the first quarter of 2021, those were nuts.
Yeah.
Leads were down 30% in the third quarter, and even into the fourth quarter, and appointments were down right to around 20% lower than
Mm-hmm.
what they were. So we saw highs and lows, and it all kind of averaged out. And we're seeing that start to pick up, and we'll talk about that here in forecasting. For sure as well. Tiffany's got some great stuff here. Interested qualified leads, but nothing to offer. Blair says wait lists in almost all of her communities. So
Yeah.
we're going to talk about that here in a second coming up, and what to do about
Yeah.
that as well.
And if you're in those situations where, sometimes we in online sales, we get it, we're in our own world, right? And we forget sometimes that, sales are a function of appointments. And so if we don't need any more sales right now, if sales have been capped, it doesn't make sense to continue to flood, right, our on-site salespeople with appointments. So we have seen, of course, some builders capping appointments, limiting appointments, upping the qualification level. That's one thing we always encourage you to do is up your upfront form, up that qualification level up front before it even gets to you. Have a determined set of qualifiers that you and your leader have agreed on. They don't get an appointment unless they meet this set of criteria. It's really important.
Absolutely.
Feels a
And
little
that's how
different
you can
sometimes, but
control it really
right.
without having to worry about individually trying to make these game time decisions of, do I think they should go out? What do I
Right.
think about this prospect? Let's just set that as a standard, whether it's by community, by
Yeah.
market, or whatever it is. So I think that's great. Jesse, despite all the top of the funnel challenges that we saw, contribution went up to 54%. How does that make you feel?
That's incredible because shout out to my Mungo girls. When we kind of started the program, it was about like 7%. And then slowly over the years, it started to creep up due to the success of the program. But when we're looking at the industry overall, it's just amazing to see that over half of the company's sales, whether you're a small builder or national builder, are coming from the program. So it's huge. But one thing I wanted to say about setting appointments, that kind of little asterisk there, it's really important if you are still scheduling appointments with these customers, if you have nothing to sell, to set the expectation up front, like, hey, this is just an informational appointment. And a lot of times if you do that, they'll say, okay, actually, I didn't know that. I want to buy something now. I don't need an appointment. I'll look at something else. So yeah.
And
Which
that's
is,
okay. That's okay.
I know
That's okay.
we have to give permission because it's such counterintuitive advice, but
It
we really
is.
do have to give permission.
Never thought I would say some of the things that I've said this last couple of years, but it is amazing that online sales contribution is still so strong. So it just continues to prove the value that you're providing to your organization. And the one thing I want to say before we kind of look into a glimpse of 2022, which we're already in it, right? You're living and breathing it. But I just want to say, you started out the year probably setting some goals, looking at benchmarks, looking at what you did last year. And you might be thinking, okay, benchmarks are at 20% for appointment to sale. I'm at 10%. Okay, that's okay. If that is what's happening in your world because you can't sell anything, that's okay, right? Still track your numbers, still understand the why behind it, and really focus more on the contribution. Getting that contribution number up to that, 50% is really, instead of the conversion up on the top, focus on that bottom conversion.
Yeah.
Because that's the health, that's the heartbeat of your program, right? Your on-site and online working together.
The Beth Ann says the lowest appointment to sale month's highest online contribution because of the process that they had set up, even though it was restricted. So I think that's great.
Mm-hmm.
And Steven's got a good one here. Question. He's like, what kind of questions help, quote, up the qualification level? I love that. Steven's like, don't just say up the qualification. Tell us what that is. There's really three things I can think of off the bat. I'm sure Jessie and Jen might have some others. Number one is, what's their time frame? How quickly are they wanting to move forward, or are they comfortable with the timeline of building a home? So they've got to understand the exact process. So we've got to know where they're at. Piggyback onto that would be, what's their current situation? Do you have a home to sell? Like, we're not taking contingencies or things like that. Right. So again, qualification level goes up. Final thing would be pre-approval, right? Yeah. So are they pre-approved? Are they ready to go? Do we have that information? Those are all things that we would usually let the on-site team handle on their own, but grabbing a couple of more of those creates a better buying experience, because just asking those questions, they know what they're getting into. Jen, Jessie, anything to add on that? Yeah, look, Carly has the same stuff there too. Timeframe, budget, approval.
For sure. I mean, you always want to get that stuff kind of pretty early in the conversation, or like we were saying, even making sure that it's maybe on your web form, asking those questions, so that when you get that lead and you see needs to move in 2 months, you're going to handle that lead a little differently than you are somebody that's like, oh, I'm totally flexible, I just want to build at some point, right? I mean, that's kind of determining that up front. But it's going to take online sales going a little further, right? Not just saying, do you have a pre-approval? Do you have a pre-approval up to how much? Because what do we all know? Pricing is, if somebody's like, my max is 400,000 and I can't go over that, and you're having price increases on the reg, right, that are continuing to move up, but if you never ask that question, right, we wouldn't know. And so just making sure you're going a little deeper on those things.
Yeah. I was going to say that, Jen, like, don't take things at face value. Like, don't take what they're saying for what they're saying. Kind of ask them the why behind it, because a lot of times, I don't know about you guys, but these buyers will say their budget's something, and then they'll be like, well, I actually have like $200,000 cash. And you're like, where are you getting this money from? Is it in a book, like in your bookshelf or something? Or they pay cash. I know, it's so weird. So these people, they have a way, and if they don't want to wait for your builder, they'll go to another builder and experience the same thing. So their correspondence with you and your outreach to them will make an impact, because most people are on the same playing field right now. So they'll come back. Okay. I told Mike I wasn't going to dance, but I'm going to dance. So we are living and breathing 2022 already, folks. It's freaking March.
Yeah.
Okay. And we're in it. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about what we're seeing now, what we are thinking is that you're going to be dealing with. Right. And let's talk a little bit about forecasting. So Mike, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I love forecasting, just making wild, sweeping generalizations.
Let me go get my crystal ball. Hold on.
That's right. But there are some things that we know are happening and are going to continue to happen. We feel the big push right now. As the first year, there's always that push. It was interesting at the Builder Show. The economist Robert Dietz with NAHB said, for the first time they've seen in a long time, 30% of homes sold are new. And that's normally around 10. So we're seeing a huge influx because there's not the inventory in the market. So everybody's gravitating towards us, and they have some urgency because of the rates. We've all heard it. Fed's moving rates up, interest rates are going up. And then with the whole Ukraine and Russia thing, it dropped down because everybody's running towards, securities and the treasury and all that stuff. I'm not an economist, but the point is rates went back down again. So we're feeling that just like intensity, even with rising prices. So we're seeing a lot of that movement in the first year. So we're going to see that interest level staying there. However, we're still running into the same challenges of limited sales, availability, and all that stuff. And so the biggest encouragement that we have and for forecasting, that's going to probably stay the same for a good part of 2022, at least on the selling and building side. Interest may start to soften a little bit over time, but you have to have a next step for your customers. We find so many builders caught off guard, just like, I got a lead, but I don't know what to do with them next, or I guess I'll just keep talking with them. There's got to be something for them to do. Hey, I'm going to keep you in touch. Here's what we're going to do. Here's our process. Here's what's happening. Here's an informational appointment. Let's get you involved in this. There's even people that are doing group appointments where come on in and we're going to walk you through this whole process when the time comes. Give them something to do. I think that's one of the biggest things. So in forecasting, interest will stay high at the first part of the year, may taper down. Construction is still going to be a challenge. Sales are probably still going to be paced for a good part of the year. So be ready for that. That's what I got. Jesse, what about you? Go ahead, Jen.
I just love that because I keep saying they're not leads, they're customers, right? And so we have to have good customer nurturing plans in place. And that's a little shift for you guys because it's not about necessarily the conversion, the appointment conversion. It's not necessarily that's the focus. It's more about the customer, nurturing the customer journey. But for me, looking at this year and into the future, it's feeling a little bit like Groundhog Day to me.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about last year, similar to last year, we are quickly feeling some uncertainty, right? So we're feeling a little uncertain about pricing, about availability, timing. I hear all the time, online sales specialists, I have no idea exactly when things are going to be ready or what the pricing is going to be.
Right.
So how do I even qualify and navigate that? The world, we have some uncertainty about the world right now, similar to last year and the year before with COVID. So here's the good thing. You've been here before. Right. I mean, we went through this last year and the year before of having to navigate things. So like Mike said, important to have a customer nurturing plan in place. And then also, if you are in a situation where you do have a little bit more bandwidth, maybe your role is shifted a little bit and you're not focused on like sales right now, or there's a pause, I encourage you to do a few things. One, list hygiene is always a good idea to make sure that your CRM is relevant, your database is relevant. Really get in there and do some good scrub types of emails and outreach to people to see if these are even still your buyers. Most likely they're not, right? You're gonna really focus on the last few months that have led up to this. The second thing I want you to think about doing is really start educating yourself on an area of your company that maybe you don't know a lot about. So if you've never gone and visited with an on-site member while they're conducting one of your appointments, or while they're doing a pre-construction meeting or a design meeting, I encourage you, go learn about other aspects of new home building. Go through walkthroughs, go out on site, learn that thing, because anything that you're doing to feed your brain is going to help you and be able to talk to customers, especially if we're talking about going a little bit deeper and having to nurture them. And then the third thing I want you to think about doing is really get back out into communities, make nice with your on-sites, do some fun videos with them. Again, you're going to need to spice it up, come up with some new ways to do some outreach, and involve your on-sites in that. It's a great thing to do, and it builds rapport with them as well.
So, I want to throw this out to the group. First of all, I think it's a great one. Mask mandates everywhere are dropping, so get back out in your communities. You're not trapped in your office anymore. But what do you guys see changing in 2022? So start chatting that out. I want to say like, hey, this is something that we're definitely going to see changing in 2022, whether it's your customer, your process, or something that you're doing internally. We always like to hear from the group. Jesse, what are you seeing for 2022?
Just like
Forecast
you guys are saying,
away.
I've heard a lot of people, say this feels a lot like last year. Like this feels a lot like what we were doing before. And now we actually have some processes in place to handle them because we have experienced it before. However, things are a little different. So now there's not a lot of inventory. There's not a lot of opportunity. And so while the trends might be the same, high number of leads, processes are not the same. It's a lot more wait lists. It's a lot more VIP coming soon. And a lot of people that we connect with don't have a specific process in place for that. So they're just kind of like, ugh, what am I telling these people? I'm putting them on a list. I'll reach out to them in 6 months once something's available and just call it a day. And so I think it's really important right now in the middle of all of this craziness is make sure that you have a waitlist process in place, a VIP process in place, not only online, but on site so that you can tell your customers like, hey, this is the way it's going to work. You're going to go ahead and get out for an informational appointment. Once you get out there, they're going to let you know about the new releases. They're going to tell you about opportunities. So I think that's one of the biggest takeaways is just make sure you have your processes in place. And we were actually talking yesterday on a group chat about digital pollution. And so, like Jen said, while you have a little bit of time, go back in and look at all of your old stuff that maybe has been there for months or even years, and make sure your content makes sense for the market. So your messaging makes sense. You're not encouraging people to reach out to you if you don't have anything, or you're telling them how your processes work with the company to save you time, in the long run.
I love that. For those of you wondering, that came from a book called Human-Centered Communication right here from our good friends, Stephen and Ethan. Chandler says more and more convincing the customer why they should visit a community. She thinks that's changing, and she thinks there'll be more buyer hesitancy. Yeah, absolutely. There's going to be a little bit of friction to the process as things get a little bit, again, it's still a seller's market right now. So you're going to have to overcome that. It's like, why do I even need to go out there? Well, let's have some good opportunities and alternatives for them. So let us know what you think's changing. Also, let us know what you're excited about for 2022. So I know we're rolling into it 2 months in. Jen, what are you most excited about for this next year?
I'm most excited to continue to see that online sales contribution grow. And just, I think that I said this at some point. I don't remember when or where I said it, but I think that we have almost trained the customer to go through us first, right? So, they kind of are getting used to that process. Instead of just heading out, they're like, let me go on the website, let me call, Haley, and let me talk to her about this first before I waste my time or before I go out there. And so just seeing that continue to grow and programs continue to develop that and get their processes streamlined, that's what I'm most excited about.
Yeah, I love it.
What about
Jessie,
you?
What about you?
What are you most?
Me? I'll go. I am most excited about because I am passionate about this. Programs that may be established or maybe new, you have the key to all of the customers. And so if in the event that things ever slow down in the market or there is hesitancy, this is the online sales program's time to shine. So staying in front of them and having all of your efforts from the past really prove and show off to leadership in the company and your customers. So that's mine.
Yeah, that's great. Beth Ann has some good stuff here to add value to their journey. I think that's a really good phrase to use. What I'm excited about for 2022 is going to be expansion on what Jessie just said. I truly believe the work that you're doing now, this hard, grueling work that you're doing right now, when the floodgates of inventory homes open, because I do think there's going to be a breaking point where all these builders that are waiting to sell homes until they're at drywall all come on the market at the same time.
Yeah.
It's just going to be boom. Like we're going to go, wow, that's interesting. You're going to see people that are putting their actual used homes on the market. And so then it's going to be back to the races. The work and the effort that you put in today creates familiarity that removes the friction in the future. Wow, that was kind of quotable right there. Can I get a thumbs up from someone on that one? The familiarity that you create today removes the friction in the future for all of these appointments that need to happen then. So keep on keeping on. It's going to be an awesome year, and we're in the driver's seat still. That doesn't mean it's all going to be easygoing. So we just want to encourage you. Online sales isn't going anywhere. We're seeing a tremendous amount of leads. We see teams growing. So keep on growing with them. And
don't be afraid to embrace change. Don't be afraid to embrace change. Don't be afraid to embrace shift. You know, that's the fun part. That is the fun part. I was talking to Elena from Ideal Homes the other day. Elena, I can never get her name right. Elena, if you're watching. And she has been doing this a long time. And she is like, this is fun because it's always changing. You know, there's always something to do. And she's like, it's literally like a roller coaster of, you know, just stuff that we get to do. And I loved hearing her talk about it in such a passionate way. It reignited me after we had that conversation. And I said, I think you need to come on Online People Talking and talk about this. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Yes. Look at this, guys. Jackie Lipinski, thumbing up from vacation.
With the thumbs up.
What is going on, Jackie? You need to remove yourself from social media. You're on vacation.
Fun. What are you doing?
All right, Jen, take us out.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. We here at Do You Convert are very passionate about you, your role in online sales, on-site sales and marketing. I'm just going to throw that in there. We have tons of free resources just for you on our website, doyouconvert.com. Definitely check it out. Stay tuned. We are going to be back here monthly, like I said, for interviews and lives together. Thank you for watching. It's good to see you. Thank you, Jessie and Mike.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye. Bye.